Here's what the schedule looks like for Illinois. They'll be back out east for a game against West Virginia. First marquee battle of the season for them. You see some of the other non-conference affairs, including a doubleheader at the United Center, Northwestern and Dayton, and Illinois and BYU. The annual grudge match with Missouri, so a lot to look forward to for the Illini. And pleased to have a couple Illinois players here with us, as we were talking about with Coach Gross. Fantastic to see Tracy Abrams back. Malcolm Hill, a preseason all-conference pick as well. Tracy, I've got to start with you because you are just the model of perseverance, losing 2 straight years to injury. Give us a sense for your mental state last year when you went down and kind of how you've worked your way back to this point.
Obviously, it was a hard point for me, but, you know, I couldn't dwell on it. I would say from my first injury, I definitely learned how to cope with, you know, rehab and mentally, the things you need to do mentally prepare. But, you know, I've learned a lot throughout those 2 experiences. I gained a lot of knowledge just sitting on the sideline, watching the game from a different aspect. And I gained a little bit more education, I would say, too. So
2 master's degrees, yeah. Coach was telling us.
So,
I mean, if nothing else, you're going to have a really impressive resume coming out of school. I know you want to continue
very
playing.
Unique, very unique resume. So that's definitely a blessing, though.
All right. Malcolm, from your point of view, a preseason all-conference player. We were discussing it with Coach. I mean, you played every position last year. It's the proverbial, did he drive the bus as well? The fact that now you guys finally have the depth around you, how does that change your role on this team?
I think that just helps me focus more on my natural position, playing with the wing. And I think it'll be easier for me to help lead the other guys, too, just because with all the experience we have and all the talents and players we have, I think, you know, we'll have a lot of pieces this year that will have to fit manage. So once we get it all together, I think, you know, we'll have a chance to be really good.
Tracy, you spent 2 years not being able to play. You've watched a lot, and we've talked about guys with injuries, guys with redshirt years, really learning a lot about the game. How have you improved as a player, not just, I guess, as a player on the floor, but also a locker room player, a leader? How have you improved? Because a lot's going to be expected of you just because of how old you are.
I would say most importantly, I learned about the simplicity of the game. That's overlooked a lot. We make the game so hard as players, and it's really not. So for me, I'm just trying to translate, you know, my knowledge that I've learned to my players, as well as get feedback from those guys, because, you know, I can always learn from them just as well as they can learn from me.
Well, it's funny you make that point because the guy sitting next to you, Malcolm Hill, I mean, he makes the game look easy. And is that something that you focus on, Malcolm, where simplify the game, you know, take your opportunities when you got it? You seem like you're never pressing. And is that a part of your game that you've worked on, or what? Is this just who you are?
I think that's just who I am because growing up, especially in high school, I was never the most athletic person. You know, I remember people used to make fun of me at my AAU practice because the shorter guys would be able to touch the rim and I wouldn't be able to. You know, and I was one of the tallest. So I think, you know, just coming into college, that's just who I was as a basketball player. Now I'm more athletic, stronger now, but I think that's just part of my game. You know, I'll always be that, you know, finesse, take my time type player.
Is this team, I mean, if you look back over the past few years, is this team by far the deepest, the longest, probably has the most potential you've seen, and partially because of what you guys went through? And Tracy, I'll ask you first.
I think this team, you know, we've been through some stuff that's definitely groomed us and prepared us for a lot of different things. So, and we also, the stuff that we've been through has actually brought us closer. So right now we're pretty tight, and we're just trying to keep it like that and just take that mindset onto the court and keep building from that every day.
And Malcolm, we talk about the different positions you've got to play, like you said, even driving the bus, but in some way this year you are able to settle in. I mean, there's depth, there's length. You're able to settle in, play, I'd say 1 or 2 positions as opposed to 5. Where do you really see yourself fitting in? Because that's a question that usually we reserve for coaches, but you as a player know your strengths and know where you'd be most suitable for this team.
Yeah, I think most suitable would probably be the 2 and 3 position. And because of all the positions that I have played, such as the 4 and 5, I think that just gives me a little bit of an advantage when I play the guard spot because, you know, I've gained strength banging, you know, with the big guys, you know, my previous years here. So be able to take that to the 2 and 3 position and still have those skill sets, I think that would be best for me and the team.
Do you guys come in with a little bit of a swagger, though? Because there's a lot of people that haven't talked to you. And I will say, I'm going to say this, and I think you can attest to this. At the end of last season, I said this Illinois team, if you guys are healthy, you are an NCAA tournament team, and you are one of the potential players of the year.
I'll take your word for it. I don't listen to much.
You don't listen. I mean, most people don't, but it's
really
okay.
Resonate with me.
I'm going to try to hold true to this one.
You're going to claim you said that, sure.
Yeah,
okay.
I will claim.
Yeah, he said that last year. I distinctly remember it.
Well, I'll answer this. I'll just say this: the one full game that we had everybody, which by the way, everybody wasn't 100% healthy. We beat a UAB team that was in the NCAA tournament and beat Iowa State in that same tournament with the same team. We won by double digits. In the Iowa State game, by halftime, before big Mike Thorne got hurt, he had 10 points, 8 rebounds at halftime, and we actually had, I think they were a top 5 team at the time, Iowa State undefeated. We were in the game with them. I think we were actually up 2 when he went down 2. So I mean, I think we had the pieces last year to be a really good team. It's just we didn't really have the health to show that.
All right, how do you define success for this team? What's a good year, Tracy?
Right now, I keep talking to the guys. As a leader, I keep talking about us maximizing every day, helping each other out. This is a special group. We got a lot of pieces. We got guys who bought into their role, and if we can maximize every day, we can reach any goal that we put out there.
Is there one tangible goal? I mean, is it NCAA tournament or bust for this group, Malcolm, or is there more to it than that?
I mean, I think it's just even less to it than that, honestly. We try not to get too far ahead of ourselves with that. I think right now, the way that we can be as successful as we want to be is just by taking it one game at a time. And right now, we're just practicing each and every day just to prepare for when we play WashU for our first exhibition game.
Malcolm Hill, Tracy Abrams, thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Really good to see you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.